Hello, my dear students of Benguet State University. Welcome to our online class. I am your teacher, Jan Lasea. Ladies and gentlemen, a blessed day to everyone. This is my lecture demonstration in our laboratory subject, ITWM 133.1, Systems Integration in Architecture 2. In my previous lecture demonstration, you learned how to search a record and print profile using data tables and applied the techniques in solving the laboratory exercise. Today, we learn graphics programming in HTML5, Canvas, drawing and animation by programming. Let me demonstrate the graphics programming in HTML5, Canvas. The HTML5 canvas is represented by this blue-colored rectangle. Using the HTML5 canvas API or application program interface, we can draw colored text. On the canvas, we can draw a line, a circle, a filled circle, an arc, a filled arc, a rectangle, a filled rectangle, and image or picture. Using the different API just mentioned, we can draw custom objects like pine trees, pickup trucks, clouds, etc. We can move, rotate, or animate objects using the HTML5 canvas. Plus, we can play background music and sound effects. In fact, you can develop web games using the HTML5 canvas. The HTML canvas element is used to draw graphics on the fly. Via scripting, usually JavaScript, the canvas element is only a container for graphics. You must use a script to actually draw the graphics. To set up the HTML5 canvas, we place the canvas element inside the body of the HTML file. We need to name the ID like canvas. The ID name will be referenced in the JavaScript code. Next, we specify the width and the height of the canvas. For example, the width is 800 pixels and the height is 600 pixels. You place this HTML canvas element inside the index.html along under the body tag. Canvas two-dimensional coordinates. To draw graphics on the canvas, we need to be familiarized the two-dimensional coordinates of the canvas. The origin, located at coordinate x-axis 0, y-axis 0, is located at the left top corner, not at the center of the canvas. If the width is 800 and the height is 600, then the center is located at coordinate x-axis 399, y-axis 299. The right top corner is at coordinate x-axis 799, y-axis 0. The left bottom corner is at coordinate x-axis 0, y-axis 599, while the right bottom corner is at coordinate x-axis 799, y-axis 599. The drawing context. Once you have created a canvas element and retrieved the 2D drawing context from it, you can use the API on the drawing context to begin drawing. The two-dimensional drawing context is the most commonly used drawing context. The commands provided by the API or application program interface are simple but provide all the tools you need to create complex drawings. The 2D drawing context uses a pen metaphor for drawing, meaning that most commands to draw something take the form of, from the current position of the pen, draw this item, or draw this item from this position to the current position of that imaginary pen. The 2D drawing context also employs the concept of paths. A path is an invisible representation of the item you have just drawn, whether it be a line, a circle, or complex drawing made of multiple items. Paths can be stroke, meaning the path is drawn as if a pen stroke followed it exactly, or filled, meaning all the area contained by the path is filled with a color. Paths can be stroked and filled with solid colors, gradients, or patterns generated from images. Paths can be open, different starting and ending points, or closed, same starting and ending points. They need not to be continuous. You can have a single path that has several pieces that do not connect. The 2D drawing context only supports having one path active at a time. Basic drawing commands. The MOVETO command moves the imaginary pen to the specified coordinates. This provides a way to create non-contiguous paths. And the syntax is, you write the word context followed by period, and then the command MOVETO, and then parentheses, you supply the argument, which is the coordinates, x-axis first, followed by a comma, and y-axis. These x and y are decimals or float. Next, the LINETO command draws a path from the current pen position to the specified coordinates. The syntax, you write the word context followed by the period, followed by the command LINETO, followed by parentheses, and then the coordinates specified, x-axis followed by y-axis. The command stroke style. This property specifies the style that should be applied in subsequent calls to the stroke method. This property can take any valid CSS color string, for example, the string red, the string RGB, number sign first followed by hexadecimal, red, green, and blue, or the command RGB that you specified the red, green, and blue from 0 to 255, etc. A gradient object or a pattern object. In other words, this stroke style allows you to specify the color of the stroke. And the syntax, you write the word context followed by period, the command stroke style, put equal, and then the color or stroke style, like red, green, and so on, or even hexadecimal format, or by calling this method or function RGB. Next, the stroke command strokes the current path with the currently set stroke style. This command stroke will definitely draw the line or a circle or an arc with a color or stroke style. How to draw a line. To draw a line, we use the MOVETO and LINETO commands, plus stroke style and stroke commands. For example, the command context.MOVETO at x-axis 0, y-axis 0 will place the imaginary pen at that location, 0, 0. Next command, context.line2 with this coordinate, x-axis 100, y-axis 100. It will draw a path which is a line from 0, 0 to the coordinate 100, 100. To make the line or path visible, we need to stroke it or fill it. Like for example, the command context.stroke style, we pass a red, green, and blue and hexadecimal, and it is a black color. And then finally, context.stroke will draw the line with a colored black on the canvas. The stroke rect command draws a rectangle at the specified coordinates with the specified width and height stroke with the current stroke style. The syntax, context.stroke rect, and then you need to supply the coordinate where it will draw the rectangle x and y, and then you need to specify the width and then the height of the rectangle. For example, the command context.stroke style will specify the color of the rectangle, let's say black, and then followed by the command context.stroke rect. It will draw the rectangle at coordinates x-axis 10, y-axis 10, and then it will draw a rectangle with a width of 50 and then a height of 50 with a black stroke line. The fill rect command draws a rectangle at the specified coordinates and with the specified width and height filled with the current fill style. The syntax, context.fillRect, you need to specify the starting coordinates where it will draw a filled rectangle x and y followed by the width and then the height or size of the rectangle. For example, the command context.fillStyle, we want that the fill color will be colored green, and then followed by the command context.fillRect, it will draw a filled rectangle starting at coordinates 10, 10 with a width of 50 and then a height of 50. The rect command draws a rectangle starting at coordinates xy with the width and height specified. The syntax, context.rect, followed by the coordinates x and y, and then followed by the width and then the height. This rect command, you specify a stroke only. The stroke rect command that we learned previously, you specify only the stroke only. The fill rect command that we learned previously, you specify the fill color. But this rect command, you specify a stroke only or a fill only or both. Compared to that stroke rect command, only apply stroke style, and the fill rect command only apply fill command. For example, context.rect at 10, 10 with a width of 50 and then a height of 50, and then followed by context.stroke style black, and then followed by the command context.stroke, it will draw a stroke rectangle at coordinate x 10, y 10 with a width of 50 and then a height of 50. Stroke and fill, what is the difference? For example, context.rect command will draw a rectangle at coordinates 10, 10 with a width of 50 and then a height of 50. And then context.stroke style, the color of the stroke will be black, followed by context.stroke, it will draw now a rectangle box with a stroke colored black. The command context.fillStyle, it will fill a color of green, followed by the command context.fill, it will now fill it up with a color green inside the rectangle. So, the stroke is a outline, whereas the fill is the filled color filled inside the box. And that is the difference between stroke and fill. The command arc draws an arc from a starting angle to an ending angle measured in radians along a circle centered at coordinates x, y with radius, and then the direction of the drawing of an arc is either clockwise or counterclockwise. The syntax, you write the keyword context followed by period, and then the command arc. You specify the center of the arc at x, y, the radius of the arc, the starting angle in radians, the ending angle in radians, and then the direction, which is true or false, a Boolean value. If it is true, it is drawn counterclockwise. If it is false, it is drawn clockwise. How to draw an arc? To draw an arc, we need to be familiar about this chart. It is like a protractor. The chart has a circle with a center point and a radius. To measure an angle, we look at the chart. The 0 degree is located at the right. The 90 degrees is located at the bottom, not at the top. The 180 degrees is located at the left, and 270 degrees is located at the top. For example, to draw a semicircle, we start at 0 degrees and then it ends at 180 degrees. And then the direction of the drawing is counterclockwise. Also, we can draw a semicircle. We start at 180 degrees and ends at 0 degrees, but the direction now is clockwise. Let us look at this example. I wanted to draw a semicircle that looks like this. So I declared a variable CW for clockwise, assign a false. CCW for counterclockwise, assign it true. The start variable or starting angle, we specify is 0. Since the start and end are both radians, I define a method that will convert degrees to radian, and I call that method dig2rad, and then I pass the starting angle 0, and then the variable n will contain the radian equivalent of 180 degrees, calling the function dig2rad, and then the command context.arc. It will draw the arc at the center, 320 x-axis, 150 y-axis with a radius of 25, and then I pass the variable start and end, and then I specify that the drawing will be counterclockwise, CCW. To make the arc visible on the canvas, we need to stroke it with a color black, and it will draw like this. If we want to draw the opposite direction, I specified a 180 degrees starting angle, and then a 0 degree ending angle, and then call the arc at 320, 150, 25, start, end, but this time it is clockwise. How to draw a circle using an arc. To draw a circle, we just simply pass a value for the starting angle, for example 0, and then it is we need to pass the ending angle in radians. So 2 multiplied, there is a object library in JavaScript called math, and then put a period, and then we access the property pi, and then we multiply it by 2 to make it 360 degrees in its equivalent, and then the direction of drawing is clockwise. Therefore, it will draw a circle located at center point 320 by 150 with a radius of 25 pixels, colored black. That's how to draw a circle. Draw text. The command fill text fills the specified text on the canvas starting at the specified coordinates with the current fill style. If the optional max width parameter is specified and the rendered text would exceed that width, the browser will attempt to render the text in such a way as to fit it within the specified width. Use a condensed font face if available, use a smaller font size, etc. The syntax is we write the keyword context followed by period with the command field text. You specify now a text string so that it will draw that text. You specify the location X and Y, and then the optional maximum width of that drawn text. For example, the command context.fill style is green. The command context.font, the font is Arial, size is 20 points, and it is a bold. And then the next command, context.fill text, I wanted to draw the message hello world located at x-axis 55, y-axis 180, and it will display that text in green colored text hello world. Defining paths. The command begin path command specifies that you are defining a new path. The previous path will be cleared from the drawing context. The syntax, we write the keyword context followed by period and then begin path with an empty parenthesis, semicolon. The command close path closes the current path if the beginning point and that in the ending point of the current path are not identical. In other words, if the current path is not already closed visually, this command will close the path by extending it along a straight line between the 2 points. This begin the syntax of close path is we write the keyword context followed by this period and then followed by the command close path with an empty parenthesis semicolon. The begin path and close paths allows you to create a polygon that you can fill a color inside a polygon that polygon is totally closed, meaning it is a circuit. Just like a circle, it is a polygon and it is closed. Just like a rectangle or square, they are also a polygon that is closed. Draw an object using LINETO and MOVETO. We learned in the previous slide that we can draw a line by using MOVETO command and LINETO command. Suppose we want to draw a pine tree that it is filled by color green on the right. To do that, we start by a MOVETO command and then followed by a LINETO command that draws a line from that MOVETO location to the LINETO coordinate location, and then followed by a LINETO command that draws a line from the current location of the imaginary pen, and then followed again by a LINETO command, LINETO again, LINETO until we go back where we started. And then this is a polygon that it is totally closed. There is no hole or a unconnected line. It is totally a circuit. Therefore, we can fill any color inside this polygon, just like this green colored polygon on the right. Two types of drawing programmatically. The fixed coordinates drawing has a fixed or permanent coordinates. On the other hand, the computed coordinates drawing has a dynamic or changeable coordinates because it is computed a displacement of distance by adding or subtracting a distance amount. The fixed coordinates drawing, for example, the MOVETO command at coordinate 125, 70 will position the imaginary pen. Then the next command, LINETO command, at coordinate 75, 120 will draw a line. And then the next LINETO command at coordinate 110, 120 will draw a line. And then another LINETO command at coordinate 155, 170 will draw the next line until we go where we started. Until we draw this simple tree. The disadvantage of this kind of fixed coordinates drawing is that the drawing is fixed. On the other hand, the computed coordinates drawing, for example, the MOVETO command at coordinate x and y, which is a variable x and variable y, you can supply any value to that x and y, and it is not fixed. And then the imaginary pen will position to that location x and y, and then followed by a LINETO command with this coordinate x minus 50, y plus 50, and it will draw a line from that x and y until here. And if we call a LINETO command with this coordinate x minus 15, y plus 50, it will draw a line. And then if we issue another LINETO command with this coordinate x minus 70, y plus 100, it will draw again a line. So everything are computed, whether it is subtracting or adding a value from the x and y coordinates. And we need to have a long patience of doing trial and error, because this amount that we subtract and add are merely approximate or trial and error. The advantage of computed coordinates drawing is that the drawing can be duplicated many times since it is not fixed. It is changeable or dynamic. You can draw as many trees on the canvas. Unlike the fixed coordinate drawing, you can only draw one tree as an example. The definition of the function draw tree with a formal parameter color is an example of a fixed coordinates drawing. Calling the function draw tree and we pass a green color, we'll draw a tree at a specified fixed location, like this. On the other hand, this is the definition of the function draw tree with formal parameters x, y color is an example of a computed coordinates drawing. Calling the function draw tree three times with different arguments like 125, 270, 275, 270, 430, 270. You can draw 3 pine trees on the canvas. The commands begin path and then the close path will indicate that the object has a closed path that can be filled with a color, meaning you are drawing a polygon that it is closed. By calling the command stroke and then fill with a stroke style specified and a fill style specified, you can now fill that polygon with any color. It takes long time to figure out what you are drawing because it is a trial and error. You need to project your mind on the canvas, knowing and familiarize the two-dimensional coordinates that I just explained in my previous slide. Animation loop. In the JavaScript code, you place your drawing commands inside the function animation loop. You can create a function like draw and place your drawing commands in that function draw, and then call the function draw inside this animation loop so that it will place your drawing on the canvas. And as well as you can compute the changing values of the x and y of those objects that you wanted to move across the screen by creating another function and placing the computed new location for the x and y for that object so that it will move. I posted your laboratory hands-on exercise number 4 in our Google Classroom. Please answer and accomplish it. That ends our topic for today. I hope you have learned in my class. Thank you for watching. Carry on until tomorrow. God bless us.